Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday, February 11th. Welcome to another episode of Talking TVL. I'm your digital host, Breona Winn, and if you do not know what this is, as I always say every morning, this is our pre-show to the lifestyle show, Tennessee Valley Living, which airs every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Guys, we are 3 days away from Valentine's Day, and maybe this year, you've said to your partner, you've said to your significant other, let's go the non-traditional route. Let's do something different. Maybe let's try barbecue instead of going out to Ruth Chris or something like that. If that's you, you've raised your hand, I know the perfect place for you. And even if it's not for Valentine's Day, just a good barbecue place here in Huntsville, Alabama, why not go and try Brooklyn's Smokin' Barbecue? And if you don't know what that is, lucky for you, I have a video to show you right here, right now.
Dad, he loved to cook and make sure the community ate. We didn't have a name in the beginning. Daddy was just cooking, and it was good. So we decided to name it. WW stands for Walter Walisa Brookins Smoking on the Go.
He started in the backyard and put a smokehouse together. So that's where we do the smoking. He was teaching also in the school systems, and they were asking when he smoke again, let us know, and we'll pay him. So they did, and the list kept getting longer. So that's how we got started, and I was saving the money when I gave him the bank statement. He said, "Where'd you get all this money from?" From your turkeys and your ribs and your pulled pork and all this stuff these people have been paying for. Now let's make it legal. Go get your license and get paperwork done. And he got started on the paperwork, but he didn't get a chance to get a building. So he passed away, we hit the road running and started this.
So you are able to come and shop. So while you're waiting, make sure you shop. I have men items, I have women items, lotions. We want to make sure that we inspire you as well. So I have a lot of inspirational things that you can purchase.
We sell a lot of pulled pork and ribs, our number one, number two items. We have wing dinner special on Sundays. And on Friday, we have fish day.
All the food is cooked fresh by my mother. Since my father passed, my mother is the one. She is the grill master, making sure that everything is cooked perfectly. She cooks all of the sides. They're all made fresh, even down to the fresh cornbread. Mama cooks it.
And my husband would be just grinning from ear to ear if you could see him now.
To know that his girls are here supporting him. We miss him every day, but my mom has picked up where he left off to make sure that his food is remembered. He's remembered through the food. I know he's happy.
Again, that is Brooklyn's Smokin' Barbecue right here in Huntsville. I've never heard of a barbecue spot and a thrift store mashed together. And again, that food looks so good. Let me show you again in case you just don't believe me. Look at that. Come on now. Ribs, fries, all the things. It looks absolutely amazing. So if you just need, again, non-traditional Valentine's Day route, or you're just looking for good food to have just to eat for lunch today, why not go to Brooklyn's Smokin' Barbecue? Okay, lovely people. Well, after the break, let's find out who's coming on the show today at 11. Okay, lovely people. Well, today on Tennessee Valley Living, Pinnacle Home Improvement stopping by to share information about the family-owned business and what homeowners need to know as they are starting to get their work done here on their houses. I feel like this is the perfect timing. I've been seeing a lot of people on my social media specifically who are getting married, number one. Number two, they're starting to buy homes, whether it's with their significant other or by themselves. So if you or a loved one or just a friend or a mutual on social media, you've seen them and you're like, okay, they are getting a home, tell them to tune into TVL today at 11 with their pen and paper so that they can write down these amazing tips that Pinnacle Home Improvements has just for them. Also, okay, ladies, some of you may be going the self-care route this year for the Valentine's Day, okay? And listen, I'm all here for that. So make sure that you put Amazing Lash Studio on your list of places to go this year. And if you need a little more convincing, okay, tune in today at 11 because 2 representatives from the company will be here to tell us all about the business, what they have to offer. I know they have specials going on with Valentine's Day coming up right around the corner, 3 days away, people. So Amazing Lash Studios, that's happening today. And last but not least, now let me say this, hold on, let's get face to face really quick. Have you ever struggled with the reality of wanting to take pictures and then you take the pictures but then you realize you don't know how you're supposed to pose? I'm raising my hand because that's me. And then by the end of it, you're so in your head, the confidence is lost. You're like, okay, forget it. I don't want to take the picture anymore. I'll take the selfie, angle high, right? Well, listen, you're going to want to tune in today because today's the day where things change for you. At least they're going to change for me because we have Bobby. She is a North Alabama photographer. She is here to share 5 tips on how to better pose in front of the camera. I'm so excited for this. I would have never thought to, I feel like Jocelyn, she's our producer, the one who we just hired. I told you all about her a couple of weeks ago. I feel like she came up with this segment. I want to round of applause her so bad. That is such an amazing concept because there's so many of us out there who literally are trying to figure out what do we do with our hands? Where do we put our face? Chin up, chin down, chin all around, who knows, okay? But that's happening today at 11, probably around 11:45. So make sure you tune in again, 11 a.m., Tennessee Valley Living, to make sure you catch this segment. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. And again, there's 5 tips. I did read one of them, and because this is a preview show, I give you the inside scoop, I'll share it with you. How about that? One of the tips that Bobby has for us is to wear comfortable clothing. Now, hear me. You may hear that and be like, okay, duh, that's common sense. Well, it's mental. It's like it ties the physical to the mental. When you show up to your photo shoot confident and comfortable, it radiates through the smile, it radiates through the eyes and all of the things. So I thought that was a very neat tip. It's simple, but it makes all the difference. So that is 1 out of 5 tips. If you want to catch the other 4, watch the show at 11. That's what I always say, and I mean it, okay? Also, last but not least, we have an all-new edition of Wine and Spirits with Stephanie airing today. And if you are not familiar with the segment, Stephanie Mills, she gives us the inside scoop on all things that we need to know when it comes to wine. And lucky for you, I found an episode that I wanted to share with you all before we end the show today. And this episode talks all about sparkling wine. I personally thought it was fitting since Valentine's Day is literally 3 days away. And I'm sure there's a lot of people going to the stores, they're reaching for that sparkling wine. So before you go there, before you go to the store and you reach for that sparkling wine, check out this video so that you figure out all of the things that you need to know.
Hi, and welcome to Wine and Spirits with Stephanie at Church Tree Family Hospitality. I'm Stephanie, and this is a show where you ask the questions and we get you the answers, whether it's wine, beer, bourbon, spirits of all kinds, or food. Our next question is from Harold in Madison County, and it's a great question. What makes sparkling wine sparkling? What's the secret? Making sparkling wine, it's all about how CO2 is captured. How is this done? It's done in 2 major ways. One is the Charmant method, and it is more common in Italy. So this is how Prosecco is made. Now the Charmant method is basically when we ferment wine in a pressurized tank, which is why it's also known as the tank method. The CO2 is trapped, not allowed to escape, and then forced into the wine by its own strong pressure. The wine is then bottled by a special bottling line in a pressurized environment. Now the other method is the champenois method, and that's very traditional. Champenois, we know, is how they make wine in France, and wine can only be called champagne if it's made from that region in France. But that champenois method is done in America as well. This type of carbonation of CO2 is forced into the wine, not from the tank, but directly from the bottle. It is more difficult and time consuming. But basically, in this method, you create the wine and then early so that the wine's fermentation process continues inside the bottle. The wine that is put in the bottle actually still has residual sugar, and it is how it continues to ferment within the bottle. So, on top of the bottle, a temporary cork is placed so that the CO2 is not allowed to escape. The bottle is then put upside down in a freezing medium, but once frozen, the bottle is open and the ice cork with the yeast and debris is removed. The bottle is then refilled with sparkling wine and recorked, and then there you have it. You've got beautiful, amazing champenois and or sparkling wine. Super fun. Don't worry about how it's made. Just have a sip. It's delicious. All right, it's time for trivia. That's right. Let's test your knowledge on how much do you really know about wine. So here's our question. How many bubbles are there in a bottle of champagne? Is it 49 million, 30 million, or 70 million bubbles? Well, the answer is 49 million. That's right. That's a lot of bubbles that you guys get to consume every time you have an amazing glass of sparkling wine. Our next question, how fast can a cork fly out of a bottle of champagne or sparkling wine? Is it 50 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour, or 15 miles per hour? All right, this answer may surprise you, but it's 50 miles per hour. That is why you should always cover the cork with your hand or a rag after twisting off the cage. Did you know that Winston Churchill's favorite champagne is Paul Roger? He's actually quoted as saying, "In victory, I deserve it. In defeat, I need it." So here's our question. How many bottles of Paul Roger did Winston Churchill drink in his lifetime? Is it 10,000 bottles, 34,000 bottles, or is it 42,000 bottles? Well, Winston Churchill, I'm pretty sure Paul Roger liked you just as much as you liked him, because it was 42,000 bottles, according to Churchill himself. That's over a bottle and a half a day for his entire life. Before you go, we want to keep you in the know with what's happening in the family. Join us in Church Street Family for all of our upcoming events. You can find them on eventsnorthalabama.com or at churchstreetfamily.com for anything that's upcoming. We tend to have pop-ups. There's lots of exciting stuff, but there's no reason you shouldn't create your own event. Hire us for catering, off-site, on-site, or one of our amazing restaurants. We look forward to seeing you this holiday season.
Again, that is Wine and Spirits with our girl Stephanie. Such cool trivia tips. I would have never known that a cork bottle can go, or the cork top, is that what it's called, can go up to 50 miles an hour. Now I'm going to know that whenever somebody has the champagne and they pop it, I'm ducking, okay? Because that's pretty fast if you ask me that. And then 49 million bubbles in a bottle of champagne is insane to me. I guess that's why they call it bubbly. I would have never put the two and two together, but it makes sense, okay? So that is that. If you want to hear more tips and tricks that Stephanie has up her sleeves, you go to tvliving.com, you go to the search bar and you type in Wine and Spirits with Stephanie. All of her episodes that she has had previously are going to be there. And like I said before, we have an all new episode going to be airing today. So make sure that you watch the show at 11, as I always say. And without further ado, or should I say, that's all I have for you today, okay? Make sure you watch the show at 11 a.m. It is currently 10:17, which if I do my math correctly, you have a good 43 minutes before the show starts. Plenty to do. You can go to Brooklyn's Barbecue, like I showed earlier in the show, if they're open, get you a little plate of barbecue, or you can plan to do that. You've got 43 minutes to plan to do that. You can go grab a cup of coffee, walk your dog, take a nap, but then at 11 a.m., we're setting our alarms for 11 people. We're going to watch Tennessee Valley Living, okay, on your Roku, on your Facebook, on your YouTube, wherever you watch Tennessee Valley Living, because we have a fun show for you today. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I just know it. I feel it in my gut, okay? okay? And then also make sure that you follow us on Facebook, Tennessee Valley Living, and on Instagram as well. You're going to know that it's our account because it has the blue check mark beside it. And as I always say, tvliving.com for all of the interviews that you may have missed, or just articles you want to reread, interviews you want to rewatch, all of the things. tvliving.com, that is the home, that's the place that you go. So much fun content goes there. So you all have an amazing day. I will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. for another episode of Talking TVL.